So, okay, so Bailey, you think the weight has to do with it?
Yeah, because if you have something really light, you could use more energy to throw it. Like if you have a baseball and a tennis ball, the tennis ball will go faster since it's lighter.
Really?
Yeah, I actually tried it.
Okay. It's a good theory. We'll see if it works.
Nick, why do you think we have so many different clubs?
Because now,
Wait.
I wanted to say,
Wait, Nick was just going to answer. Nick, why do you think we have so many different clubs?
Because the driver is bigger and stronger, so it would be able to hit the ball really far.
The driver is bigger and stronger. Oh, so Mr. Lisak, is it true then that the stronger the golf player, the better the golf player?
no, because I could actually tell you that I play with guys that are much shorter than I am and smaller than I am that hit the ball a lot further than I do. Which is what I was going to say, like, I can hit this club maybe 190 yards and maybe Mr. O'Sullivan can hit it 210 yards. And maybe Miss Miller can hit it 130 yards. Everybody's a little bit different, use different clubs at different times. It doesn't matter how big or strong you are. Okay, it's a lot of technique, it's a lot of that
And it's
hinge
also,
and
right, it's also
pulling
because, what do simple machines do for us?
Make work
They make work easier. Because imagine playing golf without a golf club. You just like throw the ball and hope it gets into a hole.
You'll be walking a long way on the golf course. Walking a lot. Just toss it.
Okay, Mr. Lisak.
So this club now I have here what's called a 7-iron. So far I have my driver, I have my 4-iron, and I have my 7-iron. Now this club, for a guy like me, like I use it for like 150 yards. It's not going to travel as far. It's not going to be as low to the ground. It's actually going to be a little bit higher in the air. So we want less distance, but more loft.
So are you doing that with miniature golf? Do you use a club like that?
When you play what?
Miniature golf?
No, you would use a putter.
Because miniature golf, we'd go over the windmill.
That'd be like pitcher putt at Jones Beach. Pitcher putt at Jones Beach.
Yeah. So I would want not as much distance. I don't want it to go 300 yards anymore. I don't want it to roll a lot because I'm going to hit it now. I want it to go less of a distance and higher in the air. So this is called a 7-iron. So I'm going to use this. Okay. And I have one more club. So I have like 4 different clubs. We can do 4 different things. I have again, for me, it's like 250 yards on a good day. I have a 4-iron. This one I want to hit long and low, so about 190 yards. But I don't want to hit it 250. I want to hit it 190. So now I'll take out this club. Now I'm like 150 yards away from the hole, and I'll take out what's called a 7-iron. I don't want it to go as far, and I want it to go higher in the air. Now I'm really close. And this is where guys make millions and millions of dollars. It's called your short game. If I'm like 80 to 100 yards out, okay, away from the hole, I have here what's called a sand wedge. Okay, I can hit this about 80 yards. I don't want to hit it far. I don't want to hit it 250 yards. I don't want to hit it low. I want to hit it high and land soft. High and land soft. This is called a sand wedge. Okay? So different clubs for different situations. It doesn't matter how big or small, how tall or short I am. I would use this club because I don't want it to travel as far and I want it to go higher in the air and land softer. Okay, so 4 different clubs for 4 different situations. Now, I only have 4 here, but I don't know what a legal bag is, but do you know how many legal bags? Okay, but I have like 12 golf clubs in my bag. Okay, I think 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 wedges, that's 9, and I have 3 woods. A driver, then I have a little smaller club with 3 wood. That's kind of like this, but a smaller head. And I have what's called a 5 wood, which is similar in looks to this, but again, it'll be a little bit different. The head will be a little bit smaller, and I'm not going to tell you the rest because we're going to figure that out. Okay, so I can't tell you the rest.
So there are things that are different about these clubs, and we need to find out what they are. And we're going to start soon. One we already talked about. The length of the lever, right? This is called, what is this called?
Driver.
What part is this?
The lever.
The fulcrum.
We're the golf people.
What's the real name of this?
Starting
No,
with
not the scientific name. What's the golf term that you would call the stick part
stick part. What?
of the club? What do you call that?
It's called a shaft. And the shaft is the handle part, the stick part, and there are different lengths to the shaft. And then this is called the head, and the head is angled onto the shaft differently for different shafts. See the angle? See the angle? So the angle of the head to the shaft, the length of the shaft, and the weight of the club all change the lever. It's changing the seesaw. Remember that seesaw outside on the playground that you can get your really heavy friend up with?
You guys ever been on a seesaw?
Do you think you could get Mr. Crosby up on a seesaw? Maybe it would take 2 or 3 of you. On one side, he could go on the other. Do you have a seesaw at your school?
No, we don't.
You have to try this. You'll have to make a seesaw, Mr. Crosby. So what we're going to do is first we're going to identify the different kinds of clubs. There are 4 of them and they're all numbered, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is number 1, 2, and so on. And they all have numbers on them. You're going to measure the length of the shaft. You're going to use a protractor to measure the angle that the head is on the shaft. And then you're going to figure out what you think the club is going to do. What is this lever going to do when attached to the fulcrum, which is your body? Remember the chopsticks? If we use the chopsticks too far down, we can't pick anything up. If we use them too far forward, like the drumsticks too far forward, we get no sound. So we have to figure out what these levers are going to do for us. But I'm also looking at the time.
Okay.
And I'm noticing that, I know you don't have to leave yet, but we do, because it's actually time for us to go home. So we're going to be back here, and we'll record all this for you, Mr. Crosby, because the next time we're doing this, you're not in school yet.
Right,
It's 10 o'clock in the morning next time.
right.
So we're going to record all the rest of it, and we'll give you all the information, and then you can figure out. And I put a page on the wiki that has some videos you can watch.
Cool.
So, and it's all about golfing. It's golfing videos, so you can take a look at some of those. And there's a voice thread for us to figure out some things. So we'll send you our information after we record it,
Right. Sounds good.
and we'll have the whole video.
Mr. Lisa?
So what we're gonna do when we go to gym on Thursday, this is what we're gonna do for gym. We're not ready to play.
No.
First, we have to figure out how to play. Because the question that you have to answer when we're done is how can you improve your game?
Are we actually going to hit a ball? Are we actually going to hit a ball?
And we doesn't
I don't
count.
think
You're not
so.
using a real club in
That's not the plan right now, but you never know. We could always change our mind.
Yeah.
use like real clubs.
Okay, so Mr. Crosby, thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you again soon, and we'll give you all the information by Thursday. And Mr. Lisak, we will see you on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm gonna have these clubs and you'll get to look at them
And
and
we have a sheet, or do you want to do it in there, in here, it's up to you.
it might be easier where there's more room.
So we'll do it in there,
Yeah.
and we'll bring it.
Well, here's what I'm gonna let you do, is I'm gonna lay the clubs out, probably on a mat or something. If you promise not to bang them on the floor, I'll probably let you pick them up. That way you can kind of feel them. Maybe I'll just put some tape on them so you don't scratch them up.
Yeah.
Although I'm getting new irons, so I'm not really that concerned about those.
Oh, well, in that case.
And that way you can kind of feel what they feel like, and it's just easier to take a look at them. It's easier to look and see, and you might be able to understand better. Like, I'm gonna let you touch them, and so you can figure out why we use certain clubs at certain
Because
times.
remember, your job is to improve your golf game. So
Billy,
you have to know
I
about
thought
that.
the driver would be heavier because like the bottom is bigger.
okay,
But
well,
it'll be
maybe
hollow.
you're gonna have to figure that out. I'm not gonna answer
It
that
could
for
be
you.
hollow.
Okay? I'm gonna give you one little tip. It's really not necessarily about the weight. It's not about the weight. Not at all.
But the driver, what was it about that club?
It's fatter.
You wanna do the periodic
is-
table
it
of
is
elements, they
fatter.
can talk about
It's
like
taller.
head and,
It's also the taller. Right, if it's heavier, it's harder to lift. That's like the seesaw, put your really heavy friend on one end of the seesaw, do you go down? No.
that's,
Because if it's too heavy,
Your friend does.
right, if it's too heavy, that, you can't lift it.
good?
Great.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Mr.
My pleasure. And look, like, I just wanna show you one other thing, because Miss Parisi already talked about, like, showed you about the length of the clubs. I just want you, can you see these?
Yeah.
Remember this, can you see the two heads of the club?
Yeah.
Right, you're gonna have to figure out what's different about the heads.
What's
What?
One
Can I, is it too early to give this or no?
No, it's fine.
thicker.
Am I overstepping my bounds? I
No,
don't.
it's fine.
Okay,
One is thicker.
okay,
Like one is actually going this way, and one is going like a diagonal.
okay, but remember, why do I use this one? What do I wanna do with this one? It's called a sand wedge, it's the last one I used, Santino.
Sand wedge? Wow, that's so cool.
Wedge.
What do I wanna do with this?
You want to get it up and high so it doesn't bounce past the hole.
Terrific, really
So we
good.
actually want to wedge that club in between what?
The ball.
The ball and in the
I
ground?
got a really good video to show you. Really good one. Maybe I'll try it with some of you, it'll be a great experiment.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sign a waiver.
Maybe Miss Parisi,
No, say
maybe Miss
no,
Parisi
no.
will be like William Tell, we'll put an apple on her head.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Oh
cool.
my
That's
God.
cool. I've seen that video.
Yeah.
Once
we'll-
you see
we'll
it, you'll
make
say
do.
no.
Yeah, you might not,
Signing
yeah,
up.
you might not wanna do it.
You think it's cool now until you watch.
Do what?
So
It might be good
I'll
to-
also bring my laptop in.
Okay. And it's also like, look, can I show them one more thing?
Yes.
Because they're not gonna handle four at the same time. Look, here are the four clubs, look. I'm gonna go, look at the four clubs. I'm gonna try to help you. I'm gonna try to help you. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to help you, look. We have four different clubs here. Okay? This is the one I wanna hit the furthest, 250 yards for me.
So that was the first one.
That's called the driver. Now, here's the one here's the 4-iron, 190 yards. Here's the 7-iron, whoa, here's the 7-iron, 150 yards.
Wow,
Here's that
I'm noticing
wedge.
something about how you're picking up the clubs. That's.
Here's that, I don't know, here's that wedge that Santino talked about.
Did you
like
notice
80
something
yards.
about how
The
Mr.
longer
Lisak
it
was?
is, the longer it is, the farther it hits.
Here are the clubs, look, that's pretty good. Here are the four clubs,
Let me just
So-
really.
here are the four clubs,
Good.
okay? So, looking at this, you can make that scientific reasoning.